Welcome to J2D Rowan, and today we are going to be interviewing my Uncle Robbie. Today we are going to be interviewing my Uncle Robbie, and he is a multi-top AT championship at our local MIR points race. And I've been in his car, I've watched him since I was a little kid, and today I'm going to be interviewing. Say hi, Robbie.
Hey, I'm Robbie Parlett. I am Rowan's uncle. I've been racing Top AT in the Computech Dragster at MIR since 2013.
First question, what got you started in racing?
I got started racing because that's what our family did. My dad raced with your grandfather, my uncle, and my mom and dad were at the track all the time, and I just was born into it.
What keeps you coming back to the racing?
I definitely like going fast. It's a lot of fun. As far as I can tell, you can't ever go fast enough. When I don't race, I'm working with airplanes and fighter jets and stuff like that, so there's no such thing as going too fast for me. But the competitiveness, as I get older, it's still nice to have something that is a competitive outlet, something where I can try to be competitive with kids your age and guys that are twice as old as I am, which is kind of impressive. And then all the best people I know in the world outside of my family are people I know from the racetrack, and most of my family's at the racetrack too.
Being a multi-top AT championship, how do you deal with the pressure of being in the car, about to race, and thinking about trying not to mess up and trying to win?
For me, bracket racing comes down to routines. Everything is a routine. I get in the car, I put my belt on the same way, I take my hat off the same way, I put my gloves on the same way, straps on the same way, and I just do the same thing. So I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel the pressure, like knowing that championships are hard to win. It's a year-long effort. It's a lot of hard work. So just trying to do the same thing every single time. I mean, eventually you stop thinking about it because you just want to do your routine, and then after that it's just executing.
Yeah, I need help with that.
It's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I finished second in the points 3 times before I finally won a championship. It's hard. It's hard to do it.
Yeah, that wasn't really for the question. That was just for me. I have a question. How much stripe do you like to take? On average.
I would. Some people will tell you that they can see like 4,000 or 5,000. I'm not that good anymore. Like at one point, I would say I could see that consistently, but I'm trying to take around 8,000 every time. To me, 8,000 is taking about a half a wheel, and I'm pretty confident that I can see a half a wheel most of the time. If I take 4,000, it's not because I did it on purpose. I kind of got lucky and did a bad job of giving it back.
How do you deal with a big loss that you think you're gonna win and really thought you're gonna win? How do you deal with that?
That's changed a lot over the years. I used to be one of those guys that got mad and wanted to throw my helmet, never quite got that far. Get mad, kind of, maybe cuss myself out, say, things that I shouldn't say out loud. And then, but over the years, I've kind of just come to realize that I'm going to lose way more than I'm going to win. If I get beat, somebody just puts a package on me, or somebody just makes a killer run beside me and I just get beat, I can't even be mad about it because that's what I'm trying to do to them, right?
Yeah.
But when I beat myself and I make a mistake at the finish line, or I missed a tree when I feel like I drilled it, things like that, those kind of things irk me worse than the others. A couple weeks ago, I drove terrible. I drove absolutely terrible all weekend, and just kept getting waxed, and it was awful. And like I didn't sleep. I was losing sleep over it. And then I came out and I talked to my race car. I'm one of those weird people who talk to their race car, and we came to some sort of agreement, and we've been good ever since.
What did your race car say? Is it?
That's my fault. To get my stuff together. Now car has.
Your car seems mean.
Yeah, she's hard on me.
What was your highlight of your racing career?
There's been a few of them. Definitely the 2 track championships I'm very proud of. It's hard to win a season-long championship. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of dedication. And we race really tough people. MIR is one of the toughest tracks in the country as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We have a big bracket program with over 300 cars in points this year. Like it's hard to be the best out of 300 cars. Yeah. Just really winning with my kids around. That's been my most fun. Because they get so excited. Or if they're already in bed, I get to wake them up and we get to go to the motorcycle picture at 1 in the morning. Like that's the most fun.
Are they going to be junior drivers? And if they do, are you excited for that?
Yeah, so right now they both have a lot of interest in it. So whether they actually do it or not, they're still kind of young. They're 4 and 2, and I'm never going to force my kids. Yeah. I take that back. I'm going to force them to try. They're definitely going to have to try it at least twice. But if they do become junior drivers, I'm super excited for it. I'm going to kind of semi-retire, is what I always say, and give my kids the attention they deserve. It's being a junior parent. If your kids want to be good at it, if they're out there just playing around having a good time, that's one thing. But if they want to be good at it, it takes a lot of dedication from the dad, as you very well know with your dad. It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
So
if you could have any animal from any TV show or movie as a pet, what would it be?
it's gonna be weird, but when I was a kid, my favorite cartoon growing up was Peanuts, Charlie Brown. And Snoopy the dog I thought was the coolest thing ever, but his buddy Woodstock, a little yellow bird, I thought that was the coolest sidekick that ever was. So between Snoopy and Woodstock, it'd be a hard choice.
What is your best race story?
So this year, I haven't won anything this year to speak of. I've made it to deep in a bunch of races, and I show up on Saturday, and I got to run Jeff Serra, who is the baddest dude in bracket racing right now. So anyway, we stage up, and I set up pretty tight, and I had a plan of what I wanted to do, and it was to not outdrive him at his game, because I can't beat him at his game. He's better than me at his game. So I'm going to drive my game and do my thing. We leave, and I'm behind on the tree, and I'm 4. So I'm 4 on the tree, and he's got me covered up pretty good. And my plan was really to rip it really early, and then drag the brakes, and then really stick the brake pedal, and then spray it right at the finish line. So it was a really complicated plan, but it was going to make it look really weird to him. And that's what I wanted to do, is not give him a clean picture. So I do all that and somehow go dead on 0 to be 4 total. He drops, makes a really good lap, drops, makes the right move, and he gets behind me 6th thou. So I'm 4 total to his 8 total for the win light against the baddest dude in the country. And it was me doing all kinds of dumb stuff in the car. How it worked out, I'll never know. I get to tell people I just outdrove Jeff Serra, but really I just got lucky.
Yeah, I
was just doing everything. Both feet were doing all kinds of stuff in there, and then I was pushing buttons. It was all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I think I was spraying nitrogen and dragging the brake at the same time. It was a weird run.
And finally, what is your advice for someone about to race or just starting racing?
And drag racing is just enjoy it at first. Realize that it's way tougher than it looks. It's not just going in a straight line, right? I mean, that's the easiest part, is the going in a straight line.
People think that it's just, you just hit the throttle and you just
That's
go.
it. That's all it takes. I hear that all the time. How hard can it be? It's just going in a straight line. I always kind of try to explain to people, it's like playing chess, in my case, at 150 miles an hour. One of the best, I think some of the best advice I ever gave Zach when he was starting out in juniors is that I don't care if you're not holding, I want you to always look at the other car. You're always paying attention to what the other car's doing.
Yeah.
And even if you're not going to do anything, I don't want you to do anything, but just see where they are and then tell yourself, hey, I went through the finish line in front, or I went through the finish line second, and by about how much, and just start practicing and just look at the other guy. When you get confident to do that look over the first time, it's going to take a bunch of runs, but when you do, you realize, man, I can do that, and then you do a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit earlier, and a little bit earlier.
And then right when you launch, now you're just like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at guys. I'm one of those people that when I'm racing a similar ET dragster like mine, when I let go of the button, I'm looking at them. So I let go of the button, and I'm staring at them when we go past the tree. So, and I'm watching them all the way down the track.
That was our first episode of J2D Rowan. Make sure to like and subscribe, and check back for our next video.